Hey guys, and welcome to the much anticipated Q&A. Sorry it's been a long while. I'm currently at Oxford University on a research placement, and so I've been super busy for the last week and a half, and so it's just been very hectic. I'd like to thank White Coach Mentoring for making this video possible. They offer fantastic mock medicine interviews for Oxbridge, for panel interviews like UCL Imperial, but also MRI interviews. And I've actually worked for them a bit before, and I actually interviewed some of you guys, so go and book their mock interviews. They're on demand and they're actually very well priced. You get a one-to-one mock interview with someone who's been through and also has been interviewing for many years, so they know exactly what they're asking you. And also they have a fantastic policy where if you don't enjoy the session or if you don't find it useful, you get literally your money back. So you literally have nothing to lose. So yeah, go check them out. About the giveaway very quickly, I'm still definitely doing it. Ding and ding. This is what I'm giving away. But I think I'll have this first Q&A video, then another Q&A video in 2 parts. And then I'll make one more video that will sort of be more about the giveaway. I feel as if that might be easier than sort of incorporating it into these Q&As. But don't worry guys, those are on the way. Okay, let's get to your guys' questions. Hopefully you guys will get to know me a bit more, but also I can give you some good advice. Right, sorry I can't say a name, but yes, how many hours of independent work do you do in a typical day at Cambridge? Well, yeah, it really varies. First and second year are going to be really intense. First year I had around 4 or 5 contact hours, including lectures and practicals per day, plus supervisions in the evening. Plus I do around 3 or 4 hours of independent work myself. Then in second year I had around 6 to 7 hours of lectures, practicals, and that sort of stuff, and supervisions per day. Plus again, 5-6 hours of my own work on top, plus extracurriculars. So yeah, it was roughly like a 70-80 hour work week at Cambridge. Hey man, Leo, how many hours did you spend working per day? What did you do in your free time? Like I said, I spent around 5-6 hours of my own time working per day. Sometimes less, maybe 2 or 3, sometimes more. So to relax, I just played a lot of sport. So I rode a lot back at school, and so I rode for the first 2 years at Cambridge. This year and third year I'm playing polo and shooting. They are far less time consuming than rowing was, and so I can really fit it in quite easily, but also they're new sports, they're fantastic. I absolutely love polo, it's so invigorating. So yeah, that's what I'm doing this year. I don't really play a lot of console games. I don't mind the odd sort of mini-clip pool game or a game on my phone when I'm bored, but I don't play too many games, no. Longevities, what specialities are you interested in? Well, I'm definitely interested in surgery. At the moment I'm considering upper GI, orthopedics and cosmetics. I did consider neurosurgery / cardiothoracic when I was much younger, and I really wanted to be a neurosurgeon before I came to Cambridge. But then I realised, having gotten in, maybe that may not suit me as much as... Okay, not because it may not suit me, I just feel as if the work-life balance in neurosurgery isn't what I wish it to be. I also want to get into medtech. That's why I'm doing engineering, so I really want to work on medical imaging. And yeah, so surgery, medtech, but also property. So my family background is pretty much property development, and so I really like that, and so I definitely want to get into that, both in the UK and abroad. Golden Teen, the views are beautiful. Yeah, it was Paris. How do you cope with maths, like learning and memorising it? So maths is quite interesting. I'd say just past papers, so the questions are repeated year upon year, but more importantly, be comfortable with all the equations. So I remember a lot of the equations were quite confusing at first, but once you understand them, you understand how they work. Then when the question comes, you very quickly write down the equation first and foremost, then you look at the question, you're like, okay, fine. They've given me x and y, I need to work out z, the equation is x plus y equals z, let's rearrange the equation or whatever, and then you sort of plug it in. So it's very much about doing past papers and just sort of understanding how the questions are working. Best resource I can recommend is examsolutions.net. Absolutely fantastic guy, it's free, and he covers all exam boards, and he literally goes through every single past paper question, and he sort of works through it and explains why he does the next thing that he does. And that really helped me, especially on questions that I didn't understand. And it wasn't because I didn't know the stuff, it was simply I hadn't considered the way, that the exam question required me to think. So yeah, go check out Exam Solutions, the link will be in the description. What are your future ambitions after uni? So that's Vinosh Jagadeesan, thank you so much. So future ambitions, good question. Like I said, definitely surgery, definitely medtech. I want to hopefully have a few startups when I'm older. I love the idea of running my own business, and I've been trying to do that myself over the last few years. Some sort of charity work of some sort. I'm not too sure what exactly I want to do yet, but especially since I'm from Sri Lanka, I want to do some sort of work out there. It's the country having gone through a civil war recently. Regardless of which side you support, I'd say a civil war affects everyone, and it sets the country's development back a lot. But more importantly, it's the kids who are affected. They have fewer opportunities, and it's all about helping those kids out, because none of them were at fault for what happened. So yeah, definitely some sort of charity work as well. Imad, Rajput, Concratsen, what are the various topics you covered in your Cambridge medicine interview? So my medicine interview was quite varied. So for everything from maths questions to like proteins, to metabolism, to like antibiotics and like bacteria. So pretty much everything in human biology we covered. So nothing specific, and I can't really give you the questions anyway. I think that's quite unfair, but also they change them so often that you can't really predict the questions. Alexandra Theodoru, congratulations, okay. To achieve as high grades as you did at A-level, did you use active recall and spaced repetition? I'd say less so at A-level, because that was more just past paper practice. I'd say more at GCSE, where I had to learn a lot of content. Definitely for history, geography, I'd sort of revise something, then even leave for 2 hours and revise it again, then revise the day after. I didn't really do it in a scheduled manner. So I know like Ali Abdal recommends that you have a spreadsheet and all. I think that's a fantastic organised way of doing things. I just sort of had mental notes. For example, I just knew if I hadn't looked at something for a few days, and so I'd revise it. So yeah, definitely follow on with active recall and spaced repetition. It works more for content memorization instead of like working out how to do stuff. Olivia Stithia, how many hours in a school day did you revise? Also congrats, cheers. So I revised around, on a school day for A-levels, around 3-4 hours independent work, maybe 5 or 6. But then that would be really relaxed work, so like listening to music and like, I don't know, doing some questions or past papers. Or I didn't really write too many notes when I was at A-level. I just found like loads of good notes online, so I recommend that you do that. For GCSE, initially I began writing loads of notes, but then again, it turned out there are loads of fantastic questions online, so questions and notes, so I didn't really bother too much with that sort of stuff. Tariq Abed, are you going to practice medicine after completing a degree or go into medical engineering? Very good question. So I really do like medtech, like I said, but I definitely want to continue the medical stream. So like I said, surgery is what I'm at the moment super interested in, considering a few different fields of surgery. Maybe I might even do something I haven't mentioned so far. But yeah, surgery, medtech, and property, but also some sort of charity work. But to be fair, I might do the charity work later in my life, to like having maybe sort of secured a solid future for myself first. I don't know, I'll see. 78 Yos, are you studying engineering for your integration year, or how challenging do you think it will be to return to medicine? Well, I think it'll be completely fine, because in third year everyone pretty much does a completely different subject. I'm specialising in engineering, fine, but other kids might be doing pathology, pharmacology, but they won't do other topics, if that makes sense. So fine, everyone goes to fourth year to clinical school, but then they won't have covered, like, let's say 3/4 of other parts of medicine. They might know pathology extremely well, but not too much knowledge in other fields, because again, they haven't studied it for a year or two. So yeah, I think I'll be in the same boat, maybe slightly difficult because I'll have the maths mindset, but I feel as if the maths mindset is one which doesn't get in the way of medicine at all. What is your biggest tip for high A-level grades? Really good question. Just work your ass off pretty much. Like the more hours you put in, simply the better the grade will be. And you have to, like, I know some people say like use these techniques, like blah blah blah, just work hard if you want the grades. At the end of the day, there are different ways of working hard, fair enough, and like, you can still work effectively and work hard, or you can still just work ineffectively and work really hard as well. But at the end of the day, the key thing is hard work. Remember that, whilst you're sleeping, there's someone else who's working, and that's how it works. It's all relative. You have to be in the top 10% or top 20% or whatever to get a certain grade. So given how hard other people work, as long as you outwork them, you'll be at the top, no questions asked. How do you manage to go gym and do medicine? Don't you find recovery time from the gym too hard? Well, recovery time from the gym firstly is altered with sleep, right? So you want to make sure that you're sleeping really well. I try and get 7 hours a day, but sometimes it's 5 or 6, it really depends, and then I crash during the day, which isn't too good, to be honest, but sleep. I have been, slacking in the gym recently because I've been really busy with work and other stuff, so I probably should get back to the gym soon. But to be fair, playing polo, like my lower back gets completely exhausted. So I then stupidly go to the gym and then do more lower back work. And again, I do need to strengthen my lower back because in polo you don't sit down fully, but then you don't sort of stand up fully. It's like called a half seat, and that's like a really stable position. So Angeline Augustine, I have followed you on Instagram. If you were able to tell your younger self something, what would it be? I'd say it's just the sky is the limit. If you've got a dream, however unachievable it may seem even to you, even if your friends are like, oh, you can't do that, or even your family are like, oh, is that really a wise thing to do? Fine, if it's a stupid thing, be careful. Then if you have a dream, then however big it is, you can achieve it. Just make sure you're committed to it and put the work in. That's one thing I tell myself. And to be fair, so far in my life, I've managed to somehow sort of follow the path that I wanted to follow. I've sort of achieved things that I wanted to achieve. Fine, I have had a few setbacks in terms of I've screwed things up, but then again, I've made sure to learn from my mistakes and not sort of sweep them under the carpet. And yeah, another thing is, don't look down on the mistakes you make. That's another really important thing I want to tell you guys. If you make a mistake, never consider yourself bad for it. Think about it as an opportunity for you to learn. Use mistakes as an opportunity for you to grow. And yeah, if I literally could tell myself when I was 12 or 13, when I was making a lot of mistakes, just like in terms of being naughty or like, not working hard enough and all, and making loads of mistakes at school, or even like with friendships and all. Yeah, like learn from things. Anyway, moving on. Unknown. Do you use the A-level textbooks to revise for A-levels? No, I didn't. As in I used them to when I was sitting on the toilet to like look at the diagrams, because I really liked sort of just flicking through the diagrams and like seeing what they were. But most of my revision was through like online revision notes or like revision notes from mates or past papers, which is a pretty big part of my revision. Even at Cambridgeshire, past papers are like a lot of my revision. Yeah, like textbooks are fantastic for diagrams, but then I think they're just too dense and like too like fluffily worded, and I don't like that. I just like to get the raw facts and sort of understand the facts and sort of move on. Captain Kangaroo, good username. Do you have any tips about how to set up a medicine racer club? Number one, be passionate about it. Number two, talk to teachers for like their opinions and their sort of advice on how you can make it better. Number three, don't just do it if you want to have like a UCAS or personal statement line. Like actually be interested in it. So back at school, I started the Festival of Medical Journal at school. It was actually international because we had kids from Canada, Germany writing. It was fantastic. But then also I started the School Anatomy Society. I literally worked my arse off to organise like pregnant rat dissections, frog dissections. It was I put a lot of time into it because I actually was interested in anatomy. What is the favourite part of Jesus College? Got an interview there. Oh, congratulations. Hope it went well. Jesus College, what do I like the most? I wouldn't say it's a specific part of Jesus. I'd say it's just how big it is and how just well laid out it is. It's just massive, and people don't know it's that big. People don't even know where it is technically, even though it's quite central. Just the fact that it's so open and just so well maintained. Like everyone who works there is so passionate about, giving 110% and making the college look amazing and run amazingly. So I'd say the favourite part will actually be the people who sort of run it day to day. And every time you walk through the corridors, you just think, wow, how many people have walked through here? How many people who've been better than me, who've been cleverer than me, who I could have learned from, have walked through these corridors? That's the best part about Jesus, I'd say. Aston McDonald. My question is, what would you tell your A-level studying self if you could go back in time to change your experience slightly? Good question. I would say, what would I do? Number one, I would have maybe started past papers even earlier because I just didn't realise how important they were. Number two, maybe like use the mind map approach, not as like a main way of revising, but like to simply organise my ideas to sort of see how much I know. Just like mind map completely all of respiration, or mind map completely all of, plant biology, or that sort of stuff. Because by mind mapping, like very spontaneously, you very quickly put yourself to the test and see, okay, how much can I pull out of my head right now, right here, which is what you will be doing in the exam. The exam isn't like a structured thing like an interview which sort of talks you through it. No, it asks you, right, this is the question, answer it now. So like that, so for that situation, I'd say mind maps are fantastic and sort of just highlighting to you, okay, what do I know right now and what I need to quickly revise on. Then literally after 2 minutes of mind mapping, you then spend 10 minutes going and reading up on whatever you forgot. Actually, no, one last question. I like this question. Ha123, what is your favourite sport and what team would you like to play for in that sport? Thanks. Well, my favourite sport at the moment is polo. It's bloody amazing. I only picked it up this term, but literally it's the best sport ever. What team would I play for? Well, firstly, I think in a year or two I want to try and go for the Cambridge, Oxford varsity teams, and maybe even compete in the Atlantic Cup, which is against Harvard and I think it's Yale. But yes, polo and Cambridge Blues. But also I really enjoy shooting, but also I love rowing. I've rowed for the last 6-7 years of my life. It's a fantastic sport. So for anyone who is at school, get involved in rowing. You will not regret it. The mindset, the people, but also the feeling of literally rowing on the water, you just can't beat it. Even though I've stopped rowing now, I still would happily go on the water and row tomorrow if I wanted to. Thank you so much for all your questions. Hopefully that was pretty interesting. Once again, thank you to White Coach Mentoring for making this video possible. They do offer fantastic mock interviews, so go and check their website out. There'll be lots of Oxford related videos coming out soon, but I need to go now. So lovely speaking to you all, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.